Good day. So in Canada here, we're undergoing a federal election, national election. And I guess last summer we underwent a provincial election here in Ontario. There's something that happens that just makes me crazy. There's ads running on TV put out by Trudeau for the Liberals. And the statement that the guy makes is, we're going to do something that the other parties aren't going to do. We're going to raise taxes on the wealthy so that we can pay for programs for the middle class. And the middle class is the engine of the economy. Okay, this is such utter crap. Okay, first of all, what's the definition of rich? Okay, I'm telling you right now, I would fall into this category. This message, it plays really well to the folks who are living in, in the poverty, below the poverty line, minimum wage, hourly workers, perhaps. Okay, but for the most part, when these turkeys talk about the rich, they're talking about people who perhaps are making maybe 80,000 and more. Those are considered rich people, and they're going to raise taxes on the rich. Now, I've done the arithmetic. Okay, I'm in a high-earning tax bracket. If I was to make minimum wage, if they raise the minimum wage to $15, like some of these whack jobs are suggesting, you do the quick arithmetic. Okay, $15 an hour, 40 hours a week, $600 a week. Okay, that works out to about 31 grand a year. 31 grand a year. You don't pay very much tax. In fact, you're eligible for some of the tax credits given out by the province and the feds. You can live pretty comfortably on that type of income. Okay. Now, when someone's in the high tax bracket, your folks making 30, 40 grand a year, they look at them and they're jealous and they think they're rich and they're wealthy. The actual take-home pay isn't that much different. I'll tell you, the actual take-home pay at the end of the day is maybe, like, it depends upon your personal circumstances, of course, but it's, if you compare someone making 30 grand a year versus someone making 300 grand a year, you're not taking home 10 times as much. I'm telling you that right now. You might be taking home maybe 3 times as much, but it's not 10 times as much, right? So, when they're raising the taxes on the rich, really what they're doing is they're putting a disincentive on people in the middle class, the real middle class, a disincentive to actually earn more, which is bad news for the economy. This is bad. You want people who are like earning the big bucks to make more bucks, because it's the people who earn the big bucks, who spend the big bucks, that makes the economy go round. They're saying, hey, you know what? The middle class is what feeds the engine of the economy. It depends upon your definition. Okay, the folks making 150 grand a year, those folks, they spend that money. You know what? The folks making 30 grand a year, you may want to call them middle class, but they're making ends meet. They're not spending very much money. Most of their money goes to pay for rent. Okay, they're not out there. They're not good consumers. They're not spending money on toys, luxury items. They're not consumers, right? They're hand to mouth. So they're not helping the economy at the end of the day. The economy wants more guys making 150 grand a year because those are the real consumers. If you take away the incentive for a guy making 150, you take the incentive away for him to make 200, guess what? The economy collapses. So it's all nonsense when the politicians say, look, we're going to take money away from the rich. Okay, now the real rich people, okay, if you were to look at the definition in the U.S. of rich, I think generally speaking people think that the rich in the States are those making $1 million and up. I think that's a fair definition of rich. Now, the folks making that type of income, you have to understand. Now, this is like a little subtle thing that folks who are not wealthy don't understand. If you have a lot of dough, you don't necessarily have to work, okay? And all these taxes are based upon income. So look, if I have 10 million bucks in the bank, I'm wealthy. But I don't have to work, okay? I can draw an income, be pretty comfortable, right? I can draw an income of 50 grand a year. That'll cover all my expenses, because if I'm wealthy, I've already paid for the car, I've already paid for the house, I don't need income to pay for this stuff. I need income to pay for groceries just like you do, okay? So like I could draw a salary of 50 or 40 grand a year. I'm not going to get hit by all those taxes that are on quote-unquote the wealthy, right? So it just drives me bananas. And you know what? There's so many sheep in this country who suck up that message and fail to realize that the economy is going down the tubes. And if you raise the taxes on the wealthy, you raise the taxes on business, on corporations, the economy is going to go down the tubes. This is where the wealth in this country is generated. It's not generated by people working in a factory making 40 grand a year. God love them. Okay? That's not the heart of the economy. The heart of the economy is business. They're the people who create jobs and create wealth in this country. So if you're thinking about voting for these left-wing ideologue idiots, and I include the NDP and the Liberals in there, you're making a mistake. Okay? Stay home. That's the message. Thanks. Talk to you later. Bye.